Hi Claire, thank you for joining me this evening. We are the fourth day in Mental Health Week. So I greatly appreciate you spending some time with me and getting to know you and mental health. So let's start off with, who are you and what do you do?
Yeah, hello. Thank you for inviting me, Oliver. Very kind of you. So, my name's Claire Morton, aka the Purpose Pusher. That's my new business and my new the movement that I'm trying to push forward in terms of helping men with their mental health and helping them to find their purpose in their life. So, I am a life coach, also a yoga teacher. So I like to combine some of the stuff from yoga and the yogic science, which is thousands of years old, with modern day stuff. And obviously talking to people, because when we talk, that helps. So yeah, it's a combination of yoga, neuro-linguistic programming, which is also NLP, and coaching. So I have previously worked with all genders, all different ages, but at this time I want to be working with men because I feel that I have the skills and tools inside me to help, because they are the type of clients that I've been getting, and I've been getting really good results with them. And I just feel like there's a lot of women coaches and counsellors and therapists out there helping women. There's not enough helping men, so that is where I am at the minute. So I'm just building an online community called the Purpose Pusher Project at the moment. It's just a free Facebook group. I'm now on Instagram as well, and it's about awareness, and it's about getting that movement and traction to be able to get more men talking in a safe space about what they're thinking and what they're feeling, and let them know that that's fine, that's okay, because that's normal to speak. Because men don't think it is. They think they have to hide it in and keep it in, and it's not right.
Yeah. So what is your experience with mental health?
Right, okay, so yeah, we've got good mental health, we've got, average mental health, we've got people who've got suffer at some time in their life of poor mental health. So at the moment, my mental health is in a really good state because I am conscious and I am aware of what I need to do to keep my mental health in a healthy state.
Yeah.
Obviously, over the years, I'm 44 now, but over the years, I've had different spells of falling low to poor mental health. And I think the first time I ever had it was when I was about 17. Next time I had it was when I was around about 23. Next time I had it was probably around 26, 27. I'd say that when I was 17, I think it was just all about growing up and the realization of what life actually is, because I lived in my own little bubble, and I had a lot of my best friends at the time lost their parents within the space of a year. 3 of my best mates lost a parent each, and I'd never known death before, so that was like a spark for me at the age of 17, and I suffered with a lot with panic attacks, and I left it quite a long time before I spoke to anyone about it. And then it was my mum that spotted me going through it when I had a panic attack. And I also, because my cousin was suffering, had just been being diagnosed with schizophrenia, I thought that's what I had. So I was making myself think I had that, and it wasn't. It was just anxiety, and no one spoke about it then. That was like 25 years ago. So then it hit 23, and it was all a lot around being thin, being skinny, trying to, be the skinniest girl in the gang. And because then it was, at that age, it was when the Atkins diet come out. So you were eating, it was all about not eating carbs, and it was all about just eating protein. So I did that for a couple of years, lost loads of weight, but then it was never enough. It was that whole perfection thing. And then I had no muscle. It was all skin. It was like I was just like a skin and bone. So I came out of that. Then wedding, it was when I was getting married. It was all went back to the weight. It had to be the perfect wedding. It was the stress over who was coming to the wedding and who was not invited versus who, and whose family was coming. And it was just all silly stuff now, because I think, why was I ever bothered? But that's how I felt at the time. And then I got married, was pregnant, lost a couple of babies, I'd had miscarriages. So that was another time. And then at the age of 38, I found out that my husband had been having an affair. So that just like ripped the stomach and heart out of me. However, that was when, at that time, at the age of 38, when you're older and wiser, I had my kids and I thought, I'm all right. I don't need anyone else. I've got me and my strength. So that was probably where I hit rock bottom, and I started drinking quite a lot, and over the years taking drugs to quieten the mind. I'll freely admit I've tried drugs. I'm never going to deny that, and that's part of our culture that we did. It's still rife out there right now. However, I don't anymore. So, but I do still drink, but I drink because I enjoy it. So yeah, I've been up and down. And I'm conscious, and my job was originally, it was human resources and training in the corporate world, and I was introduced to personal development and NLP and leadership development and positive mindset like 20 years ago. So thank God I had a job like that I was mixing with really positive people. I had dead supportive managers at the time, and friends and family. I've got amazing mates that I've been mates with since I was 5 years old, and I can tell them everything. And there's never any judgment. I've got a brilliant mum and dad, and even though me and my husband split up for a while when he found out he'd had an affair, I sort of didn't blame him, to be honest, because we were not right anyway, and I wasn't right. So we've worked that out, and we've never been so close. We're better now than we ever have been.
Yeah.
Because he would never talk to me about how he felt, and we just didn't speak. So because he worked away, I said to him, yeah, he worked away, he had the chance for it to happen. I said, do you know what, if I'd have worked away, I probably would have had one as well, because me and him did not speak. We were so tired of the kids. He worked away. When he came home, I was angry at him because he'd been working away all week, and I was tired and I'd been working. So it just got lost. And that's the whole point of when I talk to people about coaching and getting them to open up, speak about how you feel to your partner, because there's that many divorces happening, or there's that many relationships breaking down because the people won't talk to each other. And all we need to do is talk and listen. And maybe you don't agree with what they're telling you, but that's their world, and this is your world. Who's right and who's wrong? No one, because it's your perception of the world. So forgiveness is a massive one for me. I held no grudges with anyone, because the only person that hurts is me. The only person that. So if you don't forgive someone, that's only you holding on to that horrible, angry, feeling, and it's painful. So if you let things go and you forget things, not forget, but forgive, you're freeing yourself up. You're not attached yourself to it, and you're feeling better. So obviously that's what I've learned over the years, but I want the likes of you and your generation to be able to live like that now, because why do you have to go through all that to know that you can just love yourself and trust you, and that's all you need? Because when you love yourself and you're kind to yourself, nothing else matters, and then you attract the right energy for the right people. And then you leave the people that are toxic to you. So the people that are toxic to me, I don't have any toxic people in my life anymore, because I don't allow it. And it doesn't mean I fall out with people. I just distance myself from people now. And I just find that everyone that I meet is on the same wave and the vibration, and we're all good people. And that's all. I mean, I'd say 99% of the human race are good people. But the way people are portrayed, everyone's got a story. There's a reason why people are, being nasty to people, because obviously they might have been abused themselves as kids, or sometimes at some point in their life. So I do think forgiveness is a massive one for mental health, and not holding on to things.
I totally agree.
Yeah, and it's like someone will say to you that something happened to them 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and they're still talking about it today. And you're like, why are you holding on to something that happened to you 15 years ago? And it's like, because they did this and they said this, and it's like, that person has probably forgotten about that, or that they're not holding on to it. It's you that's holding on to it. And it's not serving you. It's not letting you move forward. So it's that whole, and this is why I love yoga, because when you look at the rules of yoga, and there's a set of rules called the yamas and the niyamas. There's one about non-attachment and about letting things go and just letting it be and observe it. And when you learn that, you go, wow, because you don't feel anything. You're like, yeah, that happened, and it's gone. What's the point in thinking about it, because it's gone?
Yeah.
People are like, they're like holding on to stuff, and it's like, please just let it go. So people physically will cut. I get people to cut the cords, and when we're doing meditation, I'm like, right, okay, think about stuff, cut the cords with that event, cut the cord with that person, and then they come out, and subconsciously, I was talking to you about it before, it changes in the back of in here, the subconscious mind. And things can change. You let stuff go, and then you focus on you, your life, and you can move forward then.
Yeah.
I think, and the thing with, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's different levels of mental health. There's extreme mental health where it's really poor. You know, you've got anxiety and depression at one end, which is stuff that you can deal with.
Yeah.
And then you've got, you know, psychotic disorders, and you've got schizophrenia and stuff like that. So the two different ends of the spectrum of bad, you know, poor mental health.
Yeah.
But people suffer with depression and anxiety. There are so many things that can be done with that to let them know that they don't have to live their life like that.
Yeah.
And whether that's through, you know, medication or non-medication and natural products like CBD oil, meditation, yoga, running, sport. There's so many different things, you know. Ayahuasca is another thing that people are tending to take now, which is a plant that takes you off to, I've never tried it yet, but I would like to. But that's a whole other thing around psychedelics, and that's what people want to get back to, the natural state of being a human being instead of that doing.
Yeah. So obviously, so let me go back to when you were saying, obviously you had miscarriages and the whole thing with your husband and things. What did you do to get yourself through it? You know, and kind of obviously you said you took down the wrong way a bit, but is there any techniques you used or anything that you kind of distracted yourself from?
Yeah, so I first freely admit, and I think this is, I'm just saying this being honest, is with the miscarriages, and I mean that was heartbreak. It was heartbreaking. Again, it was with the fact of my husband, and you know, when you lose someone, whether someone dies, passes away, whether you're betrayed, or it's that horrible feeling of that you actually feel like your heart is broken.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether you've ever had that feeling. Have you had that feeling, Oliver?
When I was in a bad way and at my worst point, I felt lifeless.
Yeah.
And I was struggling to find the reason to get out of bed in the morning.
Yeah.
And especially being in lockdown, you know, when lockdown first started, it was kind of getting used to it. And then as it went on, I went back to that point of, why am I getting out of bed? You know, that, you know, there's no reason to, because there's nothing to do. And when I was at a bad place, when I was in my first school, that's when I didn't know what to do anymore, because I just felt there wasn't a reason for me to be here.
Yeah, and it's so sad that people get to feel like that. It's like that loss of purpose. It's like, what's the point? Or so many people are walking around lost because they're that busy just getting up and doing stuff that they're just programmed to doing something that when you have time, like lockdown, and this is why I know mental health is gonna you know, as the figures have gone up again, people's mental health has hit higher figures, because the world has now stopped. So it's forced us to go, stop. Don't go in the pattern of getting up and going to work, running the kids to school, or going to school and coming home and doing your homework or whatever it is you do. It's like, stop. So people are having, because they're programmed so into that routine, people are going, oh my God, if I don't do that routine, then I don't know who I am. I don't know what I do. And we attach ourselves onto these programs that we don't take the time out to actually just sit back and go, right, okay, I've got time now to sit and think about what the hell I am on this planet for.
Yeah.
Because no one really asks us, so why are you here? What do you want to do? Because you grow up, you go to school, and which is great. We've got that free schooling system, it's amazing. And you fall into all these different relationships, and it depending on what type of family you've got, it might be, oh, you're going to university, or it might be you're not going to university because no one in this family's ever gone to university, so you're not. So it's, or your dad's a builder, so you need to be a builder, or you need to go and get yourself a job. And then some people just go into the job and with no thought. It's like, oh yeah, I'll just move along, and that's fine. Some people are fine. Some people have found what they've got. Some people want to just have kids. Some people want to go and travel the world. But it's that whole sitting with yourself and going, what is my purpose? What are my gifts? What are my unique gifts that I've come into this world with? And how can I use them in the world? And how can I serve people and feel fulfilled in my life? And I think a lot of people now are having that time to reflect, to go, okay, I'm not going back to work. Actually, I'm gonna go and live the life I want to live.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are enjoying having time at home with the family. Like me, I've had a bit of a change. My work was face to face. I'm now looking at doing it online because I can reach more people and help more people at a cheaper cost, which is better for everyone. And I'm still spreading the message. So, but the message I want to get out there is, find your purpose. What are you here for? What do you love doing? What are your passions? And do that. The money will come, and it doesn't feel like work then. There's a reason why we're born. So I don't know what the numbers are, but have you ever heard, I think Gary Vee does do you know who Gary Vaynerchuk is? Gary Vee. He talks about how hard it is to be, conceived and born. It's something like a 4 trillion to 1 chance that me and you are here.
Yeah.
We were that sperm and that egg out of those trillions of sperm to get to that egg.
Yeah.
So there's a reason why everybody that's on this planet is here. We've been brought here for a reason.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds quite overwhelming, but it's like we all need to believe that, and we all need to know that. But because of the way people have been brought up, whether it's positive, negative, or indifferent, if it's not been in a loving, catering world or family life, people have fallen by the wayside. And I do feel for people who are, evil, because what's made them evil? Because we're not born evil. It's sad, and I know people get angry with murderers, or all types of it's classed as evil people, but something's happened to them in their life to make them go down that route. And I'm not condoning it, but I have compassion for them, and that's what we need to do. We need to have compassion for everyone.
Yeah, and I think
nastiness is just wrong.
Yeah, I think as well as accepting people for who they are. Yeah, maybe they haven't done the greatest things in life, but if that person kind of wants to move on and leave the past, to just accepting people for that.
Yeah,
I think helps everyone in that case, because then you're making the situation better and positive. Because it's one of them where it doesn't matter what's going on in the past, you are you, and that's why I promote and push on so much of just being you and being yourself.
Yeah, be yourself, because the whole thing about putting the mask on and pretending to be someone you're not, that is why people are hating inside, because they're putting a role on, they're not being themselves, they're trying to impress other people. Whereas if you be yourself, you'll attract the people that want to know you. And it doesn't matter if other people don't like you or accept you, because not everybody can like everybody. But it's being okay with that, and at least you can say at the end of the day, well, I'm me, and if you don't like me, fine, but if you do, great, because I'm not living a lie, I'm being myself.
Yeah.
And this is the whole thing again, which I said I was going down the route with men, is because they've some of them have slipped into it, and they've not even realised that they've slipped into this man thing and this mask, and it's not until later on in life, and they're like, I'm not living my life. I'm not living my true life. And then that's why years later, men might come out and say that they're gay because they can't go on any longer. It's like, I've got to say, it's like, they've all said, I should have said it years ago. I feel great now because I'm not living a lie anymore.
Yeah.
I'm my true self, and you can open up your heart and you're there. And then you don't get care if people don't like you. And usually people do, because you're still a nice person. You're still that same person. It doesn't matter. So yeah, that's my aim. So in terms of mental health, what was the question? Because I think we went on a little bit there,
No,
didn't I?
Sorry. It was just what did you do to get yourself through those passages?
What did I do? Sorry. So for me, at first, I drank a lot. For every single occasion, I would drink to numb my mind, because my mind works overtime.
Yeah.
Constantly talking to myself, which is fine. That's normal. So to be able to go, I'd go out with my mates and I'd drink, and I'd just keep drinking and having a laugh, and then it would be 2 weeks later and I'd go, bump, energy's gone, you can't drink anymore, you can't keep doing this, your body's not sustaining it. Then it's hitting the realization, and then I'd go, right, no drink, I need to deal with it. So it's that acceptance of, don't beat yourself up over if you have been drinking or you have taken drugs to quiet your mind. Don't beat yourself up over it. Just wake up one day and go, right, I can't do that anymore because that doesn't serve me. It doesn't move me forward. It's not good for my body. It's not good for my head. It's not good for my heart. I need to speak to someone. So speaking to a good friend, speaking to my mum, nourishing my body, practicing yoga and meditation, going for runs. And I know I took up running when me and Mark had split up, when I'd found out about what had happened. And I ended up, and I was not a runner, but one day I put my headphones on and I just ran for miles. I cried my eyes out as I was running with music on, and I did that for months. But that was a form of therapy for me. And then I got into yoga about 7 years ago. And sorry, my camera's battery was gonna go in a minute. Yoga. So at that time, 7 years ago, I discovered yoga, and I kept saying to my friend, why do I keep crying when I come off that yoga class? And she said, because you've held that much stuff in. You need it to come out. And that's when I've said, okay, yeah, I need to let crying and sadness out, just like I would let laughter out. But you get told not to cry, not to be sad, and you've got to be positive and you've got to keep going. But you have to ride those emotions. You've got to let the sadness come. So if you want to stay in bed all day, stay in bed all day. If you want to be miserable, be miserable. However, don't stay in that state, but ride it. So laugh when you want to laugh, cry when you want to cry. They're both emotions. But for some reason, crying's got a negative emotion to it, and it shouldn't be. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
I would have spoke out. I would have found, going back now, as soon as I started feeling that anxious feeling, go and speak to someone. Go and speak to someone who you love and trust. Just do it. Because it's never as bad as what you think. Their reaction, they're so happy that you've told them. And you feel better for it.
Okay, so what would you tell to people that are suffering inside and behind closed doors?
Reach out to someone that they love and trust. It's never as bad as what they think. There's so many things that you can do online now. So obviously, if there's any men listening to this, going into my Purpose Pusher group and contacting me if they need to reach out to me to talk.
Yeah, I'll make sure all your contact details are there.
Yeah. And then I've also, because I've got the Purpose Pusher group and I've got Yoga with Claire group as well. So and that's a mixed group. But I want my Purpose Pushers group to be a safe space for men. But I've also got a yoga page on Facebook that is, I'm teaching people what yoga is and meditation. So reach out to someone, go and go and look for some groups or charities that can offer help. Go for a walk out in nature. Meditate, learn how to meditate and sit with yourself, and the enjoyment that you get when you start practicing meditation of sitting in the present moment and knowing that at this moment you're okay. What else do you need?
Yeah.
remove yourself from toxic people. So if there's people that are draining you and negative, you have to remove yourself from them, because your energy is never going to go any higher. You'll be at a low frequency. Doesn't mean you have to fall out with them. Just push, wean yourself off them, and just hang out with positive people. Reach out to positive people.
Surrounding yourself with people that you want to be surrounded by. Yeah.
High energy, supportive, open and honest people. There's loads of them out there.
Yeah.
Loads.
I totally.
But it doesn't feel like that if you are in those horrible dark places. It doesn't feel like that's even a part of your life. But there are high energy, loving people out there that would support you to the hilt. So we've got to get out of that mindset and just reach out.
Yeah.
And as I say, I'm always there. So that's my job. That's what I do.
Thank you for coming on today.
No,
I greatly appreciate it. So this will go out tomorrow. We'll still go out on Friday. So thank you so much for your time. I greatly appreciate you offering your advice and help to others. And I will give everyone your contact details. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
You too. It's been amazing.
Okay. All right, matey. I'll see you later.